I never enjoy this kind of stuff, but I have no choice. Paul Pierce, former NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, nicknamed The Truth, could absolutely ball, Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, and person I happen to think is a really decent dude. He joined his former teammate Kevin Garnett on their on Kevin Garnett's Ticket and the Truth podcast, which was streaming Game 3 of the NBA Finals this past Wednesday night. Things started to go off the rails quickly because fans noticed that Paul Pierce was apparently drunk, or at least his behavior seemed to be that of an individual who was drunk, slurring his speech and all of this other stuff. This is what they were saying. Observers of the live stream noticed a woman sitting partially out of frame to Pierce's right. Eventually, he introduced her to Garnett as Camille, and then told everyone that they met through, quote, a website where you can hire girlfriends for a day. According to reports, Pierce's behavior got even wilder. For a solid minute, Garnett struggled to share his game analysis because Pierce demanded the camera zoom in on him so he could show everyone his diamond watch. He then started to worry about a bet he placed on Miami before getting his phone out of his pocket and saying, quote, let's call some girls up, y'all. Let's call some work. At that point, the stream abruptly went offline for a few minutes. By mid-game, Pierce became combative. He produced a cigar, chewed on it for a bit, and then asked if he could light it up inside, which ended with Pierce getting nailed in the face by a lighter thrown by someone from off camera. That set him off and had him ready to fight until Garnett calmed him down. For those of you who don't remember, he used to be my colleague at ESPN until 2017. But before we go any further, if you don't believe what I'm saying, check out at least some of this for yourself.
Throw a wall in here and turn it up, you know what I'm saying?
Kevin.
Hey, how you doing?
Camille,
nice to meet you. That's Formula One everywhere, ain't it? Formula One everywhere.
This is my girlfriend for the day. They got a website that you can hire girlfriends for the day.
Stop, man.
And so I got a girlfriend.
Stop, man. Stop.
You can hire girlfriends for the
Stop,
day.
man.
I went on the website and I hired a girlfriend
right
for the day.
Look, Collins. There go Collins. Look at D. Wade at the game.
Y'all might find it funny. I don't. I find it kind of sad, to be quite honest with you. You're a champion. You know the game of basketball. Let me tell you something about Kevin Garnett. He's serious as a heart attack. That brother takes all his work serious. He don't joke around. He don't mess around. He don't take shortcuts with anything he does. But that's his brother, his teammate, his friend, and he ain't going to say much on camera. I'd love to know what he said to him off camera, because Kevin Garnett ain't one to tolerate that kind of nonsense. And it was indicative. The behavior that I'm talking about was at least somewhat indicative of what got Paul Pierce in trouble with ESPN. If you remember, ESPN hired Pierce in a full-time role in 2017 after he made appearances on his basketball program in a guest role and was a commentator on ESPN's NBA Countdown and The Jump. But he was let go in 2021 after he went live on Instagram displaying a room full of dancers while smoking, drinking, and apparently playing poker. You would think that after what Paul Pierce went through in 2021, it's something that he would like and prefer people to forget about. Because he clearly seemed a bit inebriated, and he had the dancers in his own home. And we won't get into his family affairs. That's his business. But Paul Pierce actually went on the I Am Athlete podcast about a month ago with Brandon Marshall and the crew. And listen to him talking about working at ESPN. Check this out.
Fired for what?
On your day off. Friday on their ass. That nigga doing good stuff. You know what you was doing.
Shorty did look thick too. I said, okay, if you gonna get fired, go on like that, though.
I got fired for having some entertainment.
Right.
I'm playing cards. It's my boy's birthday. It's girls dancing, and we blowing some tree.
Yeah.
I mean, what did I do wrong?
That's what it was, though. It looked like, hey, yo, can I say it?
What it look like, B?
Man, it was like an orgy, like a.
Nah, dog,
You had your
come on.
shirt off.
Huh?
You had your shirt
No,
off.
I didn't. I didn't have
had
my
a
shirt
shirt
on. I had my shirt on.
Bro, you was
You
having a
was
good
playing
time.
I was
cards.
playing
Yeah,
cards.
the
We
bloodies
was
and some
playing-
girls around him. I mean,
we
damn,
was
what
playing
That was it?
poker.
Who
Yeah.
recorded it though? Like somebody?
I did. I did.
Oh.
I did.
Oh, you was John Moran.
Well, she was on either live.
No,
can't
look,
believe he's doing what y'all-
I'm turned up. I'm on live like.
Yeah, he on live going crazy.
Oh yeah, what's up, y'all? We out here.
He licking his lips and all
No,
that.
but look, I'm getting a haircut too. I'm getting a cut.
It's cracking.
It's popping. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I don't know. I don't never go live either. I was just feeling my cut or something. And I was like, and then it was popping behind me. It was like,
Had the joints over there.
hey, dog, come on. Hey, I mean, but look, the hood was feeling me. Everybody was relating. Everybody
Can we
could
hear
relate.
that? I got here. Can we hear the call?
Yeah, the call. Yeah,
Like what they say. Like, what's
Ring, ring, ring.
No, so they hit me, and there's a higher up. It was a lady. I'm like, hello? She's like, yeah, we're doing, an investigation. I'm like, could you tell us what happened? And I'm like, you didn't see it? Like, I mean, I was just,
You saw that ass, baby?
I was just hanging out, playing cards. It wasn't my house. I mean, it was self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some girls dancing, and I was, I had some OG. I mean,
And in LA, it's legal.
yeah, it's legal.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing illegal.
Illegal.
But, at the end of the day, it's Disney.
Oh,
And,
it's Disney, that's
and
right.
so they was like, they have a morals clause. And it was just, they just said it was immoral.
That's the bullshit that irritates the living hell out of me. I got mad respect for Paul Pierce, and I got mad love for the three brothers he was talking to, and I'm not even sure that was a month ago, because I know LaShawn McCoy, Shady McCoy, works for FS1, and I'm not sure that interview actually was a month ago. For some reason, it propped up and somebody brought it to my attention. It was the first time I'd ever seen it, and I felt the need to address it. I'm gonna tell you why I felt the need to address it. Because Brandon Marshall, Deshaun Jackson, another one of my brothers, and Shady McCoy, another one of my brothers, all know there's certain stuff that you just can't do. Not when you working in corporate America. Damn sure not when you working for Disney. Paul Pierce, don't act like you didn't know what the morals clause is. You look like you had a bunch of strippers in your house, like you had some weed going on everywhere and alcohol and all of this other stuff. You don't represent Disney that way. And here's the whole point that really pisses me off. The fact of the matter is, don't bring up the hood. We all from it. And the fact of the matter is that when you out in the hood, you doing stuff in front of your house in the streets or whatever the case may be. You ain't broadcasting it and streaming live over Instagram. There's a difference. There's a difference. What you mean, I was in my house, I was chilling in my house. It's self-explanatory. What was self-explanatory is that you went viral with it while you were working with somebody else. You don't know the importance of projecting images? I didn't see you doing that when you were playing. You knew you were representing the Boston Celtics. You didn't do it then. See, this is the problem. And this is where we cost ourselves as a community when we let stuff like this slide. And I'm speaking out of love, because I love all of those brothers. And I know they were vibing with Paul Pierce, and you laughing, and you clapping, and all of that other stuff. Deshaun Jackson, no bet, he wouldn't do something like that. Brandon Marshall's a businessman, highly intelligent, with a lot of aspirations. He wouldn't do that. Shady McCoy is smart as hell, and that man is about his business. He wouldn't do that. Then what's so damn funny? See, somebody got to tell Paul Pierce, you're a champion, bro. You're a champion. No, you didn't break any laws. It's not about the laws when it's in the private sector. The private sector has their own laws. There's certain things you can't do in the NBA. There's certain things you can't do in the NFL. There's certain things you can't do in Major League Baseball. There's certain things you can't do at Disney. Just like you can't do it at Fox. You know that. You know that. What kind of advice would y'all give to Ja Morant? Got 5 years and $231 million coming to him. The whole gun toting thing didn't break any laws. Carrying firearms is legal in many, many states. You don't even need a permit. You don't need it in Tennessee. You don't need it in Alabama. You don't need it in various states throughout this country. So he didn't break any laws. But you know what he did break? He did break rules and regulations of the NBA, which is why the suspension is pending. What advice are you in a position to give him? I'm Stephen A. I got the airwaves available to me. I'm not a champion, Paul Pierce. I'm not an elite football player, Shady, Brandon, Deshaun. And I ain't blaming y'all three. Y'all are something special. But with special talents comes special responsibility. Paul Pierce is a champion, highly knowledgeable about the game of basketball, talks major smack about what cats should and shouldn't be doing, is qualified to do it, and has a resume and credentials that'll back it up. Do you know what Paul Pierce could bring to the sport of basketball? But we see him on Kevin Garnett's podcast, and I love that podcast. And I love what KG is doing. So ain't nobody throwing no shade in that direction. What I am saying is their voices are powerful. They're profound. They can do a lot of great things. And I know KG is going to. Ain't nobody throwing no shade on him here. You, Paul Pierce, what you doing, bro? That's how you want to be seen. You want the image of you being you with a drink in your hand and surrounded by strippers or pulling out your phone or, summon women that you pay for with alcohol or weed or something always around you with slurred speech and you trying to be. That's the imagery you want? That's what you want, bro? For yourself? That's how you want us to see you, this champion who is an elite player and closer? That's the imagery you want us to have for you? Please stop. You mean too much to the game of basketball, bro. You mean too much to the game of basketball for us to see you like that. And whether he admits it or not, you're too important, you're too valuable, you matter too much, we care about you too much to also watch you allow yourself to put Kevin Garnett in that position by acting like that. It's embarrassing. Come on, bro. You better than that. You better than that.